Hello and welcome. I would like to introduce you today to Rhyan Neble, Vice President of Product Innovation at ETI Software Solutions. Well, Ryan, among the other things, is also known for his commendable entrepreneurial skills. So, Ryan, how are you doing today?
Very well. How are you doing?
Well, doing just fine, going with the day, and meeting you is an amazing pleasure. So, what do you, suggest about, your journey so far? Adding to what I just mentioned here or introduce our audience with, would you like to tell them something more about yourself? Like what have been your key contributions to this technology industry so far?
Sure. Well, I'm going to date myself here, but 20 years ago, I was involved in one of the first fiber to the home projects in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. I've been actively involved in fiber to the home projects and general telecommunications projects for the last 20 years, mostly in underserved markets, small rural communities, or even a couple of islands in the Caribbean. People that needed broadband internet access, but we just needed to find a way to get it to them. And that's really what's led me to being part of ETI and my current role. What we're doing with telecommunications now and in our partnership with Microsoft is allowing us to build tools that are going to help us close the digital divide and get everybody connected with a broadband connection. And that's pretty exciting.
Of course it is. It's amazing because technology is something that needs to be introduced to each and every individual that is currently living in this present world, because there's, absolutely nothing is possible without you having a good access to the internet, for that matter, to the technology devices that we have so far, and some of them are yet to be introduced. So the work you're doing is it's totally amazing and incredible. So, Ryan, what prompted you to attend our recently concluded Internet Technology Conference?
I'd actually been told, a couple of people had told me that it was that the conference was going on, and to be honest, I thought it was just going to be another. There are lots of conferences. Then I was notified that I was being acknowledged as an innovator, and I thought, well, I better show up and just accept my plaque. I was not expecting what I found when I got to the conference, which was it felt like going to Comdex or one of the early conferences just at the beginning, when we were, when we all started thinking about this stuff a million years ago. Before the big corporations took over the conferences and the events. It was collaborative. There were, the sessions were smart people having brilliant conversations with one another, and that spilled into the hallway outside. After each one of the presentations, there were conversations that continued on. It was exciting. So it was not what I was expecting. I thought I would show up, collect a plaque, and move on about my merry way. And instead, it was really it was a thrill. I hadn't been in that kind of an environment probably since college. So
that's amazing to hear, because ultimately the idea behind we guys organizing these events, of course, recognition adds to one's joy and growth as well. But here we tend to focus upon all the possible opportunities that we can provide to our attendees in terms of, let's just say, exposure, networking, opportunity exchange, and knowledge sharing as well. So this is kind of, this has been our agenda ever since we started organizing conferences. And hearing this from you, one of our past attendees, makes it, worth it, the work that we've done. So Thank you so much for that. Now,
They,
how would you? Yep, please go ahead.
well, and to be clear, there are actual business relationships that have now come out of this. Um, I can almost characterize it as a chance encounter. I mean, I went to the conference and I met people that I'm now doing business with. That's fantastic.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you, because in terms of networking and learning, were you able to walk away with any of with any of the contracts or potential deals? But I guess you just answered, and that makes me very happy because just coming to one conference, attending receiving your award and then getting back does not really add more value to your overall growth and business, and as well as networking. So seeing that you were able to reap out the maximum opportunities possible, nothing else makes us more happy than our past attendees.
No, I I made several friends, and a couple of those friends have business opportunities that are well aligned with what we're doing, and we're finding ways to create synergy. We like working with each other. You know, that's it. There's something about a social connection, meeting somebody face to face, shaking their hands, getting to interact with them. And I think especially coming out of COVID, um, that's that's something that we're all really hungry for, is to start to make those connections again. And this is the kind of place where that can happen.
Oh, thank you so much for the lovely feedback. Also, Ryan, were you satisfied with how we as organizers or as a team handle the unfortunate postponement of the event in terms of COVID-19 as the pandemic struck? So, what was your experience with the shifting of the dates, because we had to shift the dates quite a few times before we actually could manage to organize the in-person event. So, how was your experience with that?
Um, I think honestly, there was an over and under about whether or not you guys would actually pull it off. I wasn't really sure you guys were going to pull it off, to be honest. Um, the fact that you not only pulled it off, but you did it well. I mean, the conference, it was great. It was very professionally done. The speakers were all of quality. There was there was a good sized audience in attendance, but we were, you know, we had our masks. We could socially distance. There were probably some violations of some social distancing going on, but it was a great experience. I'm, you know, just the fact under these conditions that you guys were able to pull it off, you've definitely, I'm trying to think of a phrase. I mean, I've got a few friends that have taught me some Yiddish. You've got chutzpah. You stuck with it, and that's really great.
Oh,
I,
mhm.
I just really, you are all, everybody that participated in putting it together, should really take pride in it, because these were not ideal conditions, to be sure. You guys had to fight for it, I'm sure.
It was a really truly challenging time, but nonetheless, we are, not in a favor of going digital when it comes to networking platforms, creating networking platforms and knowledge sharing platforms, because networking and knowledge sharing are two things that cannot happen virtually. They might, take place, and there are certain conferences, of course, that are happening digitally and remotely, but we are a firm believer in just, organizing the in-person events so that actually, people can actually, see for themselves what exactly lies for them in the industry when they are meeting with the other industry professionals. So going virtual was never an option. We had to pull some strings off. We had to shift the dates, but we did manage to organize the event. And listening the great feedback from you guys makes us very happy. We would definitely want to take pride in it, and basically patting our backs for pulling this off. But of course,
It,
so uh-huh.
absolutely should. You absolutely should. I had several colleagues who elected not to attend, who attended virtually, and I can say the experience was different.
Mhm.
And uh, this next time, I'm going to bring some more people with me. They need to be there on the ground and just experience it. It's just so much better in person.
Of course, I mean, in-person events always, give you the what exactly are you looking for? Because then you are the person there who is physically present and who is actually finding out the opportunities that they know might be present there, because it is not restricted to one single sector. We always tend to target all the possible sectors of one vast industry. So, I mean, here comes my favorite part. Lastly, how likely are you to attend the next edition, and would you recommend our event to your friends and peers, or as well as the aspiring leaders that are yet to enter the industry?
Don't miss Internet 2.0. Go.
Thank
Period.
Well, Ryan, this makes me very happy having a chat with you and knowing your views on our conference. I really look forward to having you in the next edition that is soon to come, as well as thank you so much for gracing our event this time around too.
Oh, thanks for putting it on. It couldn't have been easy. I know it wasn't easy. Thanks for doing it. I look forward to meeting you in person this winter.
Of course. Thank you so much for your time.
Have a lovely day.